Hi, my poem is called Hands, and it's about a story of my best friend and I help each other realize the beauty of life by using our hands. And you'll see how. Please enjoy. Last month, I was sitting in a cafe hearing the chitter-chatter of couples talking about their day, hearing the soft jazz linger in the air, hearing the espresso drip one by one into an Americano. And I leaned back into my chair, hearing the world around me. And when I was about to take a sip of my coffee, a guy comes up to me, looks around my age, but asked me in slurring words about my story, about who I was. And at first, I was incredibly terrified. My shoulders hunched up to my ears, my hands started to shake, my legs were stiff as sticks. But then he smiled, and there was something more to him than I had expected at first. And I didn't know what it was until a couple days later, we had trouble communicating. At first, I thought, why is he talking like that? But before I could question myself any further, he stopped and looked up at me. But he started to talk to me with his hands. And then it hit me. I was talking to a deaf person, and he couldn't hear himself talk because of a car accident that made him go deaf at the age of 10. And since then, I've been learning sign language. And every day I would tell him bits of my story and who I was through my hands. And every day he would tell me bits of his story and who he was through his hands. And he told me that it must be so amazing to wake up in the morning to the birds and to always respond to people in times of their need, to hear my own voice, that I have power and control over who I am. And I shook my head, explaining to him that the birds annoyed me in the morning, so I shoved my head deeper into the pillow. I never responded to those who called my name. I feel voiceless, even though I can hear my own voice scream at the top of my lungs. And he signed, "Do you know what it feels like to only hear your thoughts?" You feel trapped. But when days went on and our talks increased, we shared a reciprocal love of best friends that reminded each other the beauty of life with or without the ability to hear it. We told each other every day, whether you can or cannot hear your own voice, it is your choice to remind yourself that you're in control. So that night, when we went to a museum and fell in love with the paintings and saw the purple of flowers and tasted the blue of water and smelled the green of trees and touched the brown of dirt, life is still just as beautiful. So no matter how big the challenge was, we loved helping each other. So when he passed away a few days ago, I knew I wanted to tell our story, not only with my voice, but also with my hands. Thank you.